I heard that there is a Heavenly Illumination God Kingdom and the Eight Qi Mythology on the Canglong Continent. Our old Li is here, we are standing up against the Italian cannons. De Biao. Captain, what is a soldier commander? His subordinates need so many fund building pillsLi Yunlong. What is a soldier commander? Above the soldier is the squad leader, above the squad leader is the platoon leader and company leader, and finally you, the battalion commander, do you know? Chapter 1. Hitting the heel when farting. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Immortal Realm. Wisdom Brain Depository, wishing all the experts the strength to soar. On July 16, 1945, the world's first atomic bomb was detonated, marking an unprecedented era of nuclear weapons for humanity. On August 6 and 9, 1945, the atomic bomb exploded again in Hiroshima and Nagasaki in Japan, and I was very happy. But no one knew that the explosions of these two atomic bombs were like a heavy hammer, and their deafening sound awakened some dormant ancient species. Yendao Shrine is an ancient shrine in Hiroshima with a long history. It appears to be dedicated to the three goddesses of the sect, but in reality, this Yendao Shrine is an ancient seal, one of many ancient seals in the Japanese islands. And these numerous seals together form a super forbidden formation, the Starry Arrow 9 Towers. Now, due to the atomic bomb exploding here, the ancient seal has loosened. Due to the blood sacrifice of hundreds of thousands of people, the ancient existence in the seal began to awaken. Under the chain reaction, not only did the presence in the Yen Island shrine open their eyes, but also the ancient species in the various shrines and palaces on the Japanese island chain also responded. Ise Shrine, where the highest deity among many deities is enshrined on the surface, the great god of heavenly illumination. But in reality, this is the core area of the formation eye of the super-band Great Formation Starry Yagi Jiochong Tower. When the Yendao Shrine loosened, the so-called called Heavenly Illumination God, who was sealed here, also woke up. And its awakening marks the beginning of a new era of ancient mythology for the Blue Star. Humanity is unaware of this. They are still releasing nuclear bombs around the world, especially in the sea. Between 1946 and 1958, Amelia alone carried out more than 20 underwater nuclear explosions. Finally, on the night of January 14, 1960, Godzilla, known as the strongest monster, made a strong landing on Hiroshima. That night, millions of Hiroshima people died or were injured. That same night, a bloody red light rose from the Yen Island Shrine, and the seal on this spot was completely opened. That night, the entire island nation and the entire Blue Star welcomed their first evil god. From then on, under the leadership of the evil gods, the island nation embarked on the path of sacrificing their lives and breaking the seal of the evil gods. They only took a few years to leap from a defeated country to a unique hegemon on the Blue Star. And the Dragon Kingdom, which is closest to them, has once again been ravaged by the terror of this Bullet Island nation. Some dragon people were eaten, while others were used as food and transported to the Ise Shrine in the island country to offer sacrifices to the yet-to-be-born god of Amaterasu. On the night of the 14th day of the first lunar month, Li Yunlong, who was still asleep in the Dragon Kingdom, and Li Yunlong, who was preparing to celebrate his 50th birthday the next day, mysteriously disappeared from his sleep. Another world, the continent of the sky, and the ancient dragon forest. A seemingly ordinary mountain peak drifted out of the river of time and space, and then fell to the ground like a fairy mountain, emitting light. Sangyun Ridge, the eternal Sangyun Ridge. Following behind Sangyun Ridge, there are also numerous thousands of white light clusters. They are some big, some small, and of varying sizes. But each of them has a portrait on top of it, some gray and some colored. On top of the largest beam of light was Li Yunlong's smiling face. After a while, in Sangyun Ridge, on the temporary command center's bed, Li Yunlong was sleeping on all fours, and a smile occasionally appeared at the corner of his mouth, clearly dreaming. However, there were two obvious slap marks on his face, and it was unclear who did it. Suddenly, he stopped laughing and sat up with his eyes wide open. He rubbed his eyes and looked at the scene in surprise. Too familiar, isn't it, our command center in Canglong? Emotions are really not a dream. Shaking his head, Yunlong stood up and confirmed once again that this was not a dream, and chatting with that system was not a dream. Damn it, people get unlucky and even fart and hit their heels. After decades of fighting, we finally won and became a major general. The result is good now. When I woke up, I returned to the independent regiment and had to fight for another 8 years. Who can I reason with? Staring and venting his anger, Yunlong still felt displeased. System, please come out and explain to me well. I'm fine at home, why did you send me here? I've been fighting for 8 years and then 8 more years. Why is that? Ding, this is not Blue Star, you don't need to fight for 8 years. You said you don't need to fight for 8 years, so why did you bring my independent regiment soldiers to this battlefield? 8 battalions, a whole 8 battalions. They're not here to fight, they're here for tourism. System. Didn't we say in our dreams before that the environment here is pretty good, and we're in a good mood, so we'll beat him up as a son of a bitch? You promised it with your own mouth, you can't help but admit it. Fart, I was just dreaming, can I count what I said in my dream? The system is speechless, Yunlong is still the scoundrel Yunlong. However, the task that needs to be published still needs to be published. Ding, the Liangjian system has officially released its main mission. To destroy the Tianzhou Divine Kingdom and eliminate the 8 Legends myth. What? Wait a moment for the system. What is Tianzhou Divine Kingdom? Where did Tianzhou Divine Kingdom come from? How could his dog Day Island become a divine kingdom and still have myths? Why not go to heaven? Ding, this is the Canglong Continent, with 4 continents in the southeast, northwest, and northwest, and the little devils occupying the world's largest central continent. Their heavenly kingdom has also been established for tens of thousands of years. They control the largest resources in Yangzhou. They have a large population and countless fanatical believers in the world. In Yangzhou, they are gods. Yunlong was stunned. For tens of thousands of years, is history so long? It seems that I saw Yunlong's thoughts, the system explained. This vast continent is a world of cultivating immortals. Improving one's realm can lead to flying to heaven and earth, increasing one's lifespan. If one's realm is high, they can live for thousands of years. What? Now Yunlong is really excited. If he can fly to heaven and flee to earth alone, he can still live for thousands of years. Isn't that a monster? However, system, they can live for 10,000 years, so should Lao Li be able to do the same? Ding, of course you can. The Liangjian system will assist you in elevating your realm and becoming the strongest in this world. Yunlong looked up, his eyes lit up. In his original world, there was only war, and besides fighting, he was just a rough guy with little ability. But in this world, it seems that old Li can make a difference again. Okay, I have taken on your task. That little devil is the little devil, he should fight wherever he goes. No matter what kind of shining god it is, or what kind of 8 legends myth it is, Yunlong, bombarded it with one shell. However, after speaking, Yunlong seemed to have thought of something and asked. But the system, their island has the 8 legends myth, don't we also have it? Nothing else, just have Erlang God. Let's fight side by side with Erlang God and beat him up, son of a bitch. Ding, no. Yunlong, who had an expectant expression on his face, didn't react for a moment and said, what? No. Erlang Shen has none. Where is Guanyin? Not available. Where's Monkey Sunday? Not available. Neither this nor that, what do you really have? System silence. Yunlong became anxious and said, no, not a single one, right? Even if you make a city god, you can make a door god, kitchen god, or earth god, system representation. None. Li Yunlong felt depressed and said, "Damn it, why is it that his devils were raised by his own father? If he could run out of so many gods, we wouldn't have any of them." Ding, it's not in this world. Li Yunlong was taken aback and said, What does that mean? This world is too small to let them go. Li Yunlong didn't react for a moment. The world is too small. Can't put it down. He thought about the scene in his mind, where Erlang Shen held the earth with both hands and floated his entire body in outer space. Life buoy. Thinking of this, Li Yunlong immediately shook his head. It was too damaging to the image of Jinjuan. Leaving the command post, Li Yunlong looked around, familiar trenches, familiar comrades, and the desolate Sanyan Ridge. His appearance also caught the attention of nearby soldiers, and the comrades in the guard platoon looked at him in confusion. Because they are also traveling, but they don't know what's going on. Not only them, but also some soldiers who were lying in the trenches in the distance looked over. There's nothing they can do. In their memories, some sacrificed themselves in this Sanyan Ridge, while others lived until the national liberation later on. But now, they have all returned to this former battlefield. Do you think you miss the leader too much? This is just a dream. But this dream is too real. Faced with the hopeful yet somewhat confused eyes of the soldiers, Li Yunlong couldn't say anything. I can't say that I was bragging to a system in my dream, saying that I would take you to a different world to fight the Japanese, and then my dream came true and we traveled together. Who would believe that? De Biao, De Biao. Li Yunlong began to shout loudly, regardless of the lifebuoy. First, summon De Biao to kill Sakata. Quickly, Da Biao, the sturdy commander of a battalion, ran from a distance with a somewhat anxious expression. "Captain, you have finally woken up." Still far away, Da Biao spoke up, obviously very excited. Li Yunlong spoke without leaving a trace and said directly, "De Biao, go and catch a live person and ask." Across from him is. Halfway through, Li Yunlong stopped talking. This is the Heavenly Continent, not the original 8-year anti-Japanese war. He spoke again and asked, "De Biao, have you found anything outside?" De Biao didn't know why the leader changed his tone, but he quickly realized and replied. "Captain, this is Sanyan Ridge, yes, but it's not Sakata across from you." "Isn't it Sakata? Who is that on the other side?" "It can't be Yamamoto, can it?" Da Biao didn't know what to say for a moment, so he said. "Captain, the person on the other side is not Yamamoto, or in other words, the person on the other side is not a human at all. Anyway, you should watch it yourself." Upon hearing this, Li Yunlong pouted with a strange expression in his eyes. "We, old Li, must have encountered a monster, right?" He picked up the telescope hanging on his chest, but it didn't look or know, and he was startled at first glance. "I'll go, many dogs." "No, there are many wolves." "What is the situation?" "Is that all?" "Do you think it's a decent opponent, that's all?" Ding, the independent team has just arrived in this world, which can be considered a small benefit. Ding, the Liangjian system mission is being released. Kill the Wolf King and repel the Wolf Pack. Reward. 1,000 regular rifles and 100,000 bullets, 100 Czech-style light machine guns with 100,000 rounds of ammunition, 10 grenade launchers and 10,000 rounds of shells, 10 Italian cannons with 10,000 rounds of shells, special reward. 10 spiritual targets, special reward. 1 flying skull dagger, spiritual target. Using special target paper, the shooting level can be improved after each hit. It can be used by multiple people at the same time and can be automatically repaired. Flying skull. Exclusive to De Biao. From now on, there's no need to worry about the big knife bending. Note. Hosts who kill enemy units or complete tasks will receive experience and contribution rewards. Independent groups will also receive rewards when they reach a certain level of development. Experience points can be used to upgrade, increase combat power and longevity. Contribution value can be used to buy various weapons and equipment such as airplanes, tanks, etc. Upon hearing this, Li Yunlong's eyes immediately lit up. It's just about fighting a pack of wolves, there's actually a lot of ammunition to replenish, and you can also gain experience points to upgrade. Moreover, the rewards seem very rich, with 100,000 rounds of bullets and shells, that's enough. There are also 100 machine guns and 10 Italian cannons, given too much. When the time comes, we can directly establish a few machine gun platoons and then build another artillery battalion. Hehe, isn't this combat power going to increase? At this moment, old Li's heart was filled with joy, and the corners of his mouth unconsciously rose. But he also knew that everything had to be done first by taking down the pack of wild wolves across from him and the Wolf King. So he ordered loudly. Huzi, go and call the pillar for me. Let's still use the old method of using artillery to bombard him. Stay tuned and don't get lost, start taking off. Chapter 2. Pillar, give me a shot at him. You are listening at novelfull.audio. During Huzi's call for the pillar, Li Yunlong also asked the system for some information. However, in order to prevent the Biao from thinking that he was mentally ill, he deliberately sneaked into the command post alone. The system, if you kill a wolf, there will be a reward. So if you kill a devil, what reward will there be? Ding, if the host kills any enemy units, there will be a reward. The system will also release tasks at any time to enhance the host's combat effectiveness in all aspects. In short, the purpose of the system is to help the host grow and strengthen, and create brilliance again. Upon hearing this, Li Yunlong smiled happily. Although he still didn't understand what was going on, he came to a world with gods in a daze. But since you're here, then find a way to survive. And we, old Li, are not alone either. We have a system, and we also have a team of brothers. They are all the cutest people. However, he still gave his opinion on the system. I said the system, don't call me that host, call me the team leader. When our army expands in the future, you still have to call me division commander, do you know? The system says. Hello team leader. Li Yunlong. The system is good. Afterwards, Li Yunlong communicated with the system about some basic functions of the system. Among them, the most attractive one is undoubtedly the system mall. Why? Because there are weapons for sale inside. What Italian guns, 155 howitzers, 240 naval guns, 460 fortress guns, 800 mm train guns. Of course, it's not just artillery, but also airplanes, tanks, rockets, and even mushroom eggs. Some are from the 20th century, while others are high-tech products from the 21st century. To buy these, you need to contribute points, and the way to obtain contribution points is also simple. Kill the enemy. Killing enemies has contribution points, not just contribution points, but also experience that can be upgraded. It's frustrating to say that it can upgrade our old Li to the level of being able to fly, but it's unclear which one it is. After understanding the system, Lao Li went out of the command post to find Da Biao and also inquired about the situation of some troops. There's no way, who made us wake up last? Captain, we have counted that there are a total of 8,324 people in Canglong now. Among them, more than 1,000 people are from the original Sini regiment, and the other large part are from the later independent regiment. But now they are all reorganized together, which does not affect the battle. Except for Zhao, the political commissar, who led the guards to patrol, everyone else has already arrived at the position. Li Yunlong was overjoyed, with over 8,000 people. The system has brought all 8 of our old Li's camps. And when Li Yunlong heard the end, he became even more excited and said. What, political commissar Zhao? Old Zhao. Are you saying that Zhao Gang has also traveled through time? Da Biao was a bit confused. Time travel. What does time travel mean? Seeing this, Li Yunlong pouted and said, without culture, I don't even know about time travel. At this moment, Huzi called Wang Qingzhu over. The pillar is so exciting. Captain, I miss you so much, Captain. Wang Qingzhu was so excited that he couldn't walk steadily, almost touching the trench. And in the end, he was so excited that he had to run over and hug someone directly. Li Yunlong quickly raised his hand and pressed down on the other person's face to prevent his nose from rubbing against him. He spoke directly. Pillar, back then you two fired shells and killed Sakata. Can you now take down the Wolf King on the opposite side with one shot? Upon hearing this, it was time to come to life, and the pillar excitedly spoke up. Don't worry, Captain. There are still 18 shells left, absolutely enough. That Wolf King will definitely not escape. Isn't it too hair? However, upon careful consideration, Li Yunlong realized that this was probably the reason for the merger of the new regiment and the independent regiment. Of course, at this point he didn't care about these details and immediately started deploying. As the saying goes, if we push forward 500 meters, who will give the Wolf King and Sakata a spot on the opposite side? But now it's much easier and simpler than fighting Sakata back then. After all, wolf packs don't have guns or cannons. When fighting against Sakata, there are heavy machine gun positions and grenade launchers and mortars on the opposite side, and you can be attacked every few hundred meters. If they are not happy, they will invite planes to bomb you. Now, the other party is all wolf cubs, with 8 camps on their side and so many people moving forward. Before the Wolf King gave the order, these wolf cubs dared not take action first and could only stare, which made it easy for them to advance 500 meters. Of course, it is not possible to deploy all 8 battalions, with only 1 battalion, 2 battalions, and 3 battalions on the front, and the other 2 battalions circling to the side and rear of the wolf pack to prevent the other from escaping. The last 3 battalions naturally serve as reserve teams and simultaneously carry out security tasks. On the outermost edge of Tsangyan Ridge, there is a hill with a crooked neck tree. The 2 larger silver wolves stand independently against the wind, their thick and shiny fur showcasing their impressive combat prowess and noble status. These 2 are the Wolf King and the Wolf Queen. The Wolf King with the highest status among them opened his mouth and let out a loud cry. It's truly a blessing from heaven for our Silver Wolf clan. With so many mortals from heaven serving as our blood food, we can now support ourselves for another 2 months. Yeah, the gorilla clan doesn't talk about martial arts, they actually teamed up with the big black bear to sneak attack us. I will settle this account with the other party sooner or later. Although I can't hear any sound, there is a telescope. So Zhang Biao, holding a piece of grass in his mouth, excitedly spoke up. Captain, look. I opened my mouth, and I said this wolf can talk. It's really strange. Hey. The Biao was very excited, but Li Yunlong, who had awakened the system, was now able to see more information. Type. Silver Wolf Clan, Identity. Wolf King, Independent. Cultivation. 7 levels of gas refining. Physical condition. Normal. Practice. None. Weapon. None species. Silver Wolf Clan. Identity. Wolf Queen, self-proclaimed, cultivation. 5 levels of gas refining. Physical condition. Normal. Practice. None. Weapon. None. Seeing this information, Li Yunlong was somewhat stunned. Moving the camera, in addition to these 2 wolves, there are also dozens of wild wolves among the other wolf packs that will prompt information. What does it mean to cultivate 1 level of qi refining and 2 levels of qi refining? Anyway, Li Yunlong doesn't understand, and the system hasn't explained these in detail yet. However, this does not affect Li Yunlong's actions, there is nothing that cannot be solved with a single shell. I saw him command and say, Pillar, whatever monster he is, give him a shot. Yes. The pillar excitedly responded, then raised its right hand and raised its thumb to compare. Close your eyes one by one, get it done. On the opposite slope, the Wolf King and the Wolf Queen were both stunned when they saw Li Yunlong and their actions. These mortals have admirable courage, daring to attack them with strange wooden sticks. I really don't know how to live or die. Well, what is that? Suddenly, the Wolf King's keen vision made him see that one of them took out a cylindrical object, hollow. And after some tinkering, why did that person still give themselves a thumbs up? The Wolf King frowned, although he didn't take these mortals seriously. For some reason, he had a bad feeling. Then he saw another long round object taken out from the opposite side and placed it in the hollow tube. Bang! The shells were activated, sparks were everywhere, and the Wolf King was startled. What magic weapon was that? However, before he could think much, there was already a whistling sound coming from above his head. Shoo! Bang! The shell landed steadily between the Wolf King and the Wolf Queen, and then exploded, everything caught off guard. Hit, hit! The pillar was so excited that it stood up again and raised its hands high, feeling extremely excited. The first hit is truly me, responsible for the independent artillery corps. However, Zhang Biao's eyes were sharp, his hands were fast, and his feet were faster. He kicked the pillar towards the waist and directly flipped it to the ground. You don't want to die, don't remember how you died. Zhang Biao immediately became furious. The pillar was still angry at first. Although you are the battalion commander, just as I made a contribution, you kicked me and didn't make sense. But as soon as he thought about his own cause of death, the pillar held back his suffocation. However, at this moment, Li Yunlong's voice came. Pillar, come on, one more shot, that monster hasn't died yet. Upon hearing this, Zhang Biao and the pillar were both shocked. The shells hit their feet and were not killed yet. Upon closer inspection of the smoke and dust, the two of them could only see the place where the Wolf King was located, emitting two green halos. When the smoke dissipated, the Wolf King and the Wolf Queen were enveloped in a blue light. Although they were embarrassed, they still stood well. It can only be said that he truly deserves to be the Wolf King. He started defending at the last moment, otherwise he would have died. Pillar, hurry up, give him another shot. At this moment, the pillar also regained consciousness and took the shell from a nearby soldier's hand, stuffing it into the barrel. Shoo! On the opposite mountain, the Wolf King was extremely angry. In a moment of carelessness, he was actually injured by a group of mortals. There's no way, who made that shell have no spiritual fluctuations on it. He thought it was just an iron knot, but whoever thought that thing would explode? Looking at my beloved concubine again, it turns out that she was injured even more severely than herself. It takes 10.5 days for her to recover, and the key is that she even broke her appearance. Well, it's time to change to a Wolf Queen. Similarly, those ordinary people deserve to die. However, just then, the familiar voice that had just been heard came again. Looking up, the round thing flew towards me again. Humph. I was careless earlier and didn't flash. Are you still here now? The Wolf King immediately opened his mouth and looked up to the sky, and a blue demon light shot out of his mouth, directly hitting the shells in mid-air. Bang! The shell exploded in the air, and smoke filled the air. Ow! Then the Wolf King howled up to the sky, ignoring the other members who had not arrived, and launched an attack command directly. Today, these mortals are going to die. Suddenly, the silver wolves on the outskirts of Canglong Ridge jumped out of their hiding places and launched a full-scale attack. Judging from its quantity, it is quite terrifying, as many as 1,000, all rushing towards the forefront of the independent regiment at an extremely fast speed. It can only be said that this is a huge ethnic group. Moreover, more than 50 wolves among them actually emitted blue light all over their bodies, and Li Yunlong knew at a glance that they were special wolf packs with some kind of qi refining cultivation. Special care is necessary. So Li Yunlong ordered. Command me to use light and heavy machine guns to fight my life, and prioritize setting fire to eliminate those who emit light. Don't save on grenades, just use them all at once if you can. Chapter 3. De Biao and I charge, don't let the Wolf King run away. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Li Yunlong excitedly clicked on the drop-down menu and understood what the experience and contribution points were. Experience points, cultivation improvement, contribution points, system shopping, and the way to obtain them is very simple, killing enemies. And the reward rules are also simple. For example, Li Yunlong's cultivation of transforming gods requires 1 million experience points to break through from the first layer to the second layer, and killing enemies in the first layer also rewards 1 million experience points. Simply put, as long as Li Yunlong kills an enemy unit in the same realm, he will receive enough experience rewards to break through the current realm. This setting is effective in any realm, with no quantity limit, and experience points and contribution points can be saved as well. Moreover, if it is a killing across a large realm, the reward will also double. It can only be said that the system, Niu Pai. Of course, if the opponent's realm is lower than Li Yunlong's one great realm, the reward will be halved. If it is lower than 2 great realms, there will be no reward directly. This is also a limitation of the system to prevent Li Yunlong, the old Six, from setting up a game specifically for Xiaoya. However, soon after, Li Yunlong discovered another problem and asked, System, you said that the Tianzhao evil god can go from here to the blue star. Does that mean that our old Li can also go back? All members of my independent team can go back. Upon hearing this, the system finally breathed a sigh of relief, but it could be said that Lao Li had been hooked here. Yes, the Heavenly Illumination God has 3 great artifacts in his hand, which can be used to return to the blue star. Alternatively, once the host completes the main task, this system can also take the host back to blue star. Upon hearing this, Li Yunlong was both excited and puzzled as he asked, what do you mean is that you can't take me back now? Why? Ding, this system requires energy, in simple terms, it requires contribution points. Li Yunlong understood, which means there is no oil left to send us to this Canglong Continent. Okay, let's go brush up on our contribution points and cheer you on. At this point, Li Yunlong has finally reconciled with the system and brought out the reward technique. 1 is a reward that everyone in the group has, the top-notch, fire spirit technique of the Xuanjia level. The 4 major levels of martial arts, the world and the mysterious yellow, are not very good, but they are definitely not inferior. Many people in the independent group are still illiterate and have little concept of cultivating immortals. The cultivation techniques at this level are just right. Another one is Li Yunlong's ultimate technique, the Xiantian Divine Fire Technique, which is a fire attribute technique. This cultivation method allows people to flexibly grasp the power of fire attributes, and can absorb and fuse fire seeds to improve their own flame quality. Simply put, Lao Li can eat the strange heat. As for the final reward, the top-quality spiritual pulse of Canyon Ridge, this thing is not urgent. System, learn the fire spirit technique, Li Yunlong said. The system was taken aback and said, fire spirit technique. Isn't it the Xiantian Divine Fire Technique? At this moment, Li Yunlong became unwilling and began to argue, Comrade System, don't forget that we, Old Li, are also members of the independent team. There is also a copy of Fire Spirit Technique for Old Li, so don't try to get kickbacks. The system is shrouded, okay, it seems like that's the case, but it's too much to talk about taking kickbacks. In Li Yunlong's system backpack, a book of fire spirit technique suddenly turned into spiritual light and disappeared. Later, Li Yunlong's mind came up with the route of using the fire spirit technique and some key techniques. After silently experiencing it for a while, Lao Li felt very mysterious and said, not bad, systematic. Learn my Xiantian Shenhua Ju. Bang. Another skill disappeared from the system backpack, and Yunlong swam freely in the mystery of the skill. Not long after, he opened his eyes and then clenched his fists. With a buzzing sound, Yunlong's whole body ignited a raging fire. Upon closer inspection, Yunlong felt his whole body filled with strength. "Get up!" Yunlong let out a low shout, and then he surprisingly rose up from the ground and flew like this, becoming a fiery person who could fly. Under normal circumstances, gas refining cultivators are unable to fly, but after becoming a foundation-building cultivator, they can fly for a short period of time. Yunlong has a system reward of building a foundation layer by layer of cultivation. Although it is only a foundation layer, it is a perfect foundation, with extremely powerful spiritual power, and flying is completely effortless. System, view, my property panel. Host. Yunlong identity. Independent team leader. Cultivation. Build one layer of foundation, experience value 0/1000 physical condition. Golden eyes. Skills. Iron head skill, Xiantian divine fire technique, fire spirit technique weapons and equipment. Binoculars, shell-mounted double guns, halo, full picture. Wisdom halo, cultivation speed increased by 30%, wolf aura, combat power increased by 30%, contribution value 0. The number of independent members is 8,324, with 1 cultivator and 8,323 ordinary members. Looking at this panel, Yunlong also found it interesting, but when he saw the cultivation column, in addition to the 2 cultivation techniques he had just learned, there was actually an iron-headed cultivation technique. Isn't this what we boasted about back then? How could it still come true? Also, why are there still 2 full-picture halos? System, what's going on with the iron head skill and those 2 halos? Ding, iron head skill is a natural skill of Laoli, and those 2 halos are free benefits gifted by the system to the independent group, which can accelerate the independent group soldiers' understanding and learning of various skills more quickly. Upon hearing this, Yunlong ignored iron head skill and felt that the system was quite good. Finally, the number of independent regiments is 8,324, with 8 battalions, a total of 8 battalions. There are so many people, and now we are just 1 cultivator. System, please prepare and distribute the rewarded fire spirit technique to the warriors. Also, prepare to plant the top. Quality spiritual pulse so that the warriors can practice quickly. Alright, the fire spirit technique is being prepared, and the ultimate spirit meridian is being prepared. The system started working, and Yunlong finally landed from mid-air, and the flames on his body gradually dissipated. But at this moment, he also noticed that there seemed to be many people around him staring at him. He turned his head and said, well, important people were all around. Zhao Gang took the lead in expressing concern and said, Laoli, are you okay? Biao also spoke up, Captain, didn't it burn anywhere? Monk. Captain, how did you fly? Xing Jigua. Yes, Captain, how did you fly? Not only these few people, but also Duan Peng, 2nd Battalion Commander Shen Quan, 3rd Battalion and 4th Battalion Artillery Battalion, and other battalion commanders were present. Many nearby soldiers also curiously looked over. Yunlong now knows that without an explanation, it's not enough. Deputy Commander of the Criminal Brigade, according to the organization, gather all 8 battalions of the independent regiment together. I have an important speech. Yes. Chapter 4. Building a foundation directly, the heroic spirit of Biao. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Half an hour later, at the temporary gathering place in Canglong, more than 8,000 members of the independent regiment gathered together. Before crossing over, there was not much difference between Lao Li's 8 battalions. Basically all of them were infantry battalions, with each battalion having a bit of artillery and small artillery. Therefore, the most special thing at that time was probably the 2nd Battalion with Italian artillery, which had the strongest firepower. But now it's different. In just 8 hours, Li Yunlong repelled 5 waves of monster waves of different levels and obtained sufficient weapons and ammunition from the system. 50 Katyusha rocket artillery vehicles, 50 Schneider 155mm cannons, 50 Italian cannons, and 50 Arakan 20mm dual anti-Da aircraft machine guns. It can be said that the current independent regiment has very strong firepower. If the independent regiment were to be returned to the Blue Star at this time, the terrifying firepower of the independent regiment would become a nightmare for the devils. Unfortunately, when I came here, I was fine and couldn't go back. However, due to these equipment, all 8 battalions are no longer infantry battalions. Among them, Zhang Dabiao's 1st battalion was changed to a rocket artillery battalion, and the 2nd battalion was changed to an Italian artillery battalion. The 3rd battalion was changed to a cannon battalion, the 4th battalion was changed to an anti-Da aircraft artillery battalion, the 5th battalion was changed to a heavy firepower battalion, the 6th and 7th battalions were changed to reinforced battalions, and the last 8 battalions were changed to cavalry battalions, with the battalion commander Sun Desheng. Yes, the system also resurrected Sun Desheng, who had sacrificed before, and brought him along with the cavalry company. And at this moment, Li Yunlong also spoke up. He turned his slender cultivation to speak loudly. Comrades, after 8 hours of fighting, you should have learned that we have arrived in a brand new and extremely unfamiliar world. Here, some people fly to heaven and flee to earth, and here, some people live for thousands of years. Here, there are birds and beasts, here there are demons, here, there are also immortals. And our independent group of over 8,000 people are all ordinary people. After Li Yunlong finished speaking, everyone present remained silent, helpless, everything was too sudden. Of course, we also have good news, which is that we are not alone, we are not unwanted children, and we also have our parents. The best witness is that the weapons you just used, whether they were rocket launchers, cannons, or Italian cannons, were all given by our family members. And not only weapons, but also martial arts secrets. Li Yunlong finished speaking loudly, then waved his hand and whispered to the system, "System, come on, it's a good time to distribute the fire spirit technique. Ding, the distribution of the fire spirit technique has been completed, and the implantation of the top quality spiritual pulse into the Canyon Ridge has been completed." So, amidst the astonished expressions of everyone, the soldiers had an extra martial arts secret book in their hands out of thin air. Many soldiers cannot understand what this is, but some who understand the words have already started to liven up. Not only that, the soldiers saw a brilliant green spiritual aura exploding on the top of Canglong Mountain, with a vast wave of spiritual energy sweeping across the entire Canglong. The ultimate spiritual pulse has burst. The once desolate and desolate Canyon Ridge, almost visible to the naked eye, has grown green grass, flowers, and green leaves, making it suddenly vibrant. And the soldiers also felt very comfortable every time they breathed, and the accumulated fatigue in their bodies completely disappeared. Of course, the warriors are still ordinary people and cannot see the wave of spiritual energy. However, Li Yunlong built a foundation that he could see. He could see the rolling spiritual energy rushing towards him from the mountaintop with his naked eye, and the places he passed by were full of vitality. Although the system said that the top quality spiritual pulse was a good thing, he did not expect the effect to be so good. Take a sip. Okay, the system directly prompts experience points to +1, which is quite outrageous. If we had more suction, we wouldn't have been able to upgrade directly to the 2nd floor of the foundation building. After slowing down, Li Yunlong let go of his voice and continued to speak. "Hehe, do you see that there will be a big change in Canyon Ridge? And this thing in your hand is what I called the martial arts secret book. According to the cultivation inside, you can fly like me." After speaking, Li Yunlong's whole body burst into flames, and then he flew into the air 3 zhang high. The rumor is true, the leader really burned up, really flew up. Isn't it about believing in science, our science? I don't know if the science is scientific, but I feel like the team leader is so handsome. Yeah, just like the god of fire. The soldiers were chattering and lively, and Li Yunlong continued to speak. I learned quickly because of my talent. I can fly in a short time. You may need to learn a bit slower, but it's okay. Take it slow. Practicing martial arts is not urgent, otherwise you will go crazy. Those who can read can try practicing on their own, while those who cannot read will arrange time for everyone to learn collectively. If you don't understand, you can come to me. Of course, it's best for you to go find our political commissar Zhao. Our political commissar Zhao is a scholar and intellectual, and he definitely knows more than me. Not far away, the bewildered Zhao Gang became even more bewildered. I don't understand anything about what he came to me for, martial arts or anything else. Aren't we supposed to emphasize science in the 20th century? Why did we suddenly start learning martial arts? The martial arts were passed down, and Li Yunlong explained some trivial matters before disbanding the team. After all, there are over 8,000 people, so many of them will have to live in Canglong for a long time in the future. As for safety issues, the soldiers already know that there is a inverted 5 elements formation in the entire Canyon Ridge, which protects the entire Canyon Ridge. And the entrance directly in front of the entire Canyon Ridge is now covered with anti-tank landmines. With the protection of formations, there are no security issues in the short term. System, where is our Canyon Ridge located? Ding, Canyon Ridge is located 1,000 miles within the Dongzhou Gulong Forest. What, 1,000 miles? What are you doing all this running in here for? It's not like my independent team has been stuck in this forest all along, right? Ding, the cultivator flies to the sky and escapes to the earth. 1,000 miles of land is nothing to worry about. Upon hearing this, Li Yunlong pondered for a moment and nodded. From now on, he would fly, and the distance of 1,000 miles was not just a few minutes. Anyway, before the soldiers grew up, it was only me, the leader of the regiment, who would take more action. As for cultivation fart. Let's go, old Tong, we'll cheer you on for the jungle upgrade. After speaking, Li Yunlong burst into cultivation and flew out directly beyond Canyon Ridge. Just kidding, although Canyon Ridge now has top-notch spiritual meridian blessings and top-notch heavenly level techniques, the cultivation speed is extremely fast. However, there are many Qi refining monsters in the forest in front of us. It's like putting a lot of supplies in front of Li Yunlong. There's no reason not to do it. Remember that we, Old Li, are now strong in building foundations. If we don't go harvest a wave, it will be unfair to our Old Li's reputation. Remember, killing monsters has contribution points, and contribution points can be used to purchase weapons and equipment from the system. Some of the soldiers who saw the leader fly were envious, while others were worried. However, just now the leader said that without his command, no one can leave Canyon Ridge. Just kidding, there are all kinds of monsters outside. Are you going out to give away human heads? And not to mention the monsters, they are all kinds of poisonous weeds and insects that soldiers have no choice but to lie down within a few steps of going out. Just as Li Yunlong was leaving Canyon Ridge, Zhao Gang from the Youth League was mesmerized by the fire spirit technique. Although it was a bit obscure the first time, it was still a smooth finish. When he looked at the second side, Zhao Gang felt as if something was appearing inside his body. Carefully perceive, okay, spiritual energy. After reading the book twice, Zhao Gang immediately took his breath into his body. It was terrifying. Ding, congratulations on the addition of the first Qi refining cultivator to the independent team, and reward 1 small spirit gathering formation. Chapter 5. System, to what extent can people fly? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ding, congratulations on the addition of the first Qi refining cultivator to the independent team, and reward 1 small spirit gathering formation. Li Yunlong, who was originally flying in the air, was taken aback. What happened? It wasn't long before a Qi refining cultivator appeared. He opened the list of independent team members, clicked on the drop-down menu, and then saw the simple information of Zhao Gang in the list. Zhao Gang, Political Commissar of the Independent Youth League, First Floor of Gas Refining, Li Yunlong, who was flying rapidly, used his feet to brake directly in the air. Lao Zhao. Did Lao Zhao refine qi? What's the situation? Li Yunlong had a bewildered expression on his face. Although Cangyan Ridge now has top-notch spiritual meridians, its speed is probably too fast. As soon as I left, you refined your qi in the back. So, Li Yunlong scratched his head and asked the system, do you think Lao Zhao is a rare and unparalleled genius in 100 years? For this point, the system gave a positive answer. Ding, unparalleled in the world. Upon hearing this, Li Yunlong's eyes widened and he became ecstatic. Huh, Lao Zhao, you are truly the political commissar of our independent regiment. You are so domineering. In the future, with you stationed in Canglong, I can rest assured to go out and ambush. After speaking, Li Yunlong was so excited that he pulled out 2 refuting shells from his waist, and the Shentian divine fire technique was activated, causing his whole body to burst into the forest. Although no one had taught him before, old Li's mind spun faster than the wheels of the cart, and that was a surge of spiritual power in his palm, directly bestowed upon the refuting spear. Bang 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 bang. Faced with small demon beasts at the level of qi refining, Li Yunlong had no hesitation and carried 2 guns and indiscriminately killed them everywhere. Ding, kill 1 ox and horse in the 7th layer of qi refining, go beyond the level to kill, have the reward, gain 350 experience points, and 350 contribution points. Ding, kill 1 of the 9 layers of qi refining old snake, level up kill, have reward, gain 450 experience points, and 450 contribution points. Ding ding. Although it was just 1 layer of foundation building, it was the perfect foundation given by the system. Li Yunlong's spiritual power was extremely strong, almost catching up with the late-stage cultivators who built the foundation on 7 or 8 layers. Therefore, Li Yunlong basically shot and killed the qi refining monster while flying in the air, then waved his hand, wrapped his divine sense and spiritual power around the monster's body, and directly loaded it into the system backpack. Just kidding, monster meat is a good thing, and the soldiers will definitely make up for it if they eat it. Bang 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 bang, ding 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 ding, just as Li Yunlong was hunting 9 demon beasts and preparing to search for the next target, his powerful perception detected a foundation-building demon beast running towards him, and there were 3 people chasing behind the demon beast. Of course, the most crucial thing is that those 3 individuals seem to have decent cultivation levels. System, upgrade me with experience points. Ding, the host's current experience value is 3,550 points, upgrading. Ding, congratulations on upgrading the host to the 3rd level of foundation building. The current experience value is 550/3000. The current contribution value is 3,550 points. In order to be safe, Lao Li chose to upgrade first, and he felt that his internal strength had surged, and the spiritual power he had just consumed had recovered. In his body, the original GG cyclone had 3 branches, and as it slowly spun, a constant stream of spiritual power was transported to Lao Li's limbs. At this moment, the monster finally rushed out of the distant forest, and Li Yunlong felt the ground tremble. This is a triangular dragon beast with 3 pointed horns on its head. It is 13 to 4 meters long and approximately 5 to 6 meters tall. The huge size of the Triceratops immediately startled Li Yunlong. The opponent not only had a large body size, but also had spikes and scales, making them look very powerful. But as soon as you perceive the opponent's realm, you only build a foundation for cultivation, so it's okay. Moreover, there are many wounds on the belly and neck of this triceratops, indicating that it is running for its life. Sure enough, 3 young people flew over with swords. One of the girls, dressed in a blue robe, flew arrogantly in the middle, while the 2 men were halfway behind, one on the left and the other on the right, guarding the woman in the middle like a door god. These 3 people are not only young, but also of high cultivation. Today, Li Yunlong has built a foundation of 3 floors, but the 2 men across from him are building a foundation of 5 floors, and the girl is building a foundation of 7 floors. Old Li sighed, truly deserving of being a native of the cultivation world, not only young but also of high realm. So, he prepared to help these 3 guys. After all, these 3 were the first people Li Yunlong met in this world, so he had to leave a good impression and then gather some intelligence from them. However, his idea disappeared when the other party spoke up. The scattered cultivators in front should quickly stop the triceratops and let them go. We can't spare you. Li Yunlong had already raised the box cannon in his hand and was ready to shoot, but a man from the other side said such a thing. His face had already deformed, as if he owed him 100 or 80,000 yuan. Are you polite? So Li Yunlong's face turned pale, and he fired his gun straight into the sky. He fired several shots in a row, causing the triangular dragon to turn and dart into the dense forest. Well, these triceratops are vegetarians and have very little courage. Quickly, the 3 of them landed and were furious as they watched the triangular dragon running away in the dense forest. Where did you come from? Even if you don't help me, you deliberately disturbed my monster to make it run away. It's like trying to kill me. The young woman who spoke this time was the leader, and her towering appearance made Li Yunlong frown. As soon as the woman spoke, the man who had threatened earlier also spoke up. He raised his sword and questioned Li Yunlong, "Kid, why did you release the triceratops just now? Don't you know we're hunting it?" Li Yunlong was angry. Does this little doll talk like this? So he couldn't stand the other person saying, "You're killing me at the Triangle Dragon Pass. What the hell? Am I your father or mother? If you have the ability, go chase it yourself. Over there, run faster and you can still catch up." Li Yunlong raised his finger and opened his mouth in one direction, without giving the other person a good face. A few little brats still had reason. "You want to die?" The man was in a fit of anger and rushed forward with his sword. When Li Yunlong saw that the opponent had such a strong killing ability, he immediately took action and fired 4 shots in a row. Suddenly, all 4 bullets hit, but the other person seemed to have a treasure on them, and the bullets were blocked by a layer of red spiritual light. But even so, this still frightened the man quite a bit, as he repeatedly retreated and looked at the magical tool in Li Yunlong's hand in terror. Of course, not only he, but also the woman behind him looked at the refuting gun in Li Yunlong's hand, her eyes full of brilliance. So she ordered, "Xiao Li, I have the magical tool in that person's hand. Take it from me." Chapter 6. The Small Cannon King Body of the Pillar. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Li Yunlong is very speechless. These people not only have a strong killing instinct, but they also do a lot of things like robbing things now. He felt that the other person looked pretty good and dressed humanely, but why did he start working as a bandit? But not to mention, these people have really high cultivation. He carefully checked the information panel of the 3 people using the system. The woman in the middle is called Xiao Linger, and the man in white on the right is called Xiao Li. The woman in the middle is called Xiao Linger, and the man in black on the left is called Xiao Li. Lying down, this is a demon cultivator. Li Yunlong almost exclaimed in surprise. The system has an auxiliary upgrade function, one of which is the scanning function. As long as you focus on a person, you can see their general information. Character. Xiao Feiyu identity. Xiaojia village resident, demonic cultivator, scattered cultivator cultivation. Building a foundation with 5 floors, the true cultivation is the peak of building a foundation, physical condition. Ordinary skill. Heavenly demon skill, top grade earth level, weapon. Magic wind blade. Also known as the tetanus blade, it is a small black short-edged curved blade that can release a powerful wind blade with piercing power. The cut wound is extremely difficult to heal. Looking at the other party's peak cultivation in building foundations, Yunlong felt a bit nervous. After all, the other party is a demon cultivator. Now he just pretends to be so arrogant. So, what if he shows his true form behind his back? However, at this moment, Li, who was named by the woman, had a strong breath all over his body. He couldn't help but say that this was his goddess. So he took action and charged forward with his sword in a Z shape, not too slow. But no matter how fast the speed is, can it still surpass bullets at this short distance? Li lifted the box cannon in his hand and fired several shots in a row. Before Li could react, he felt like he had been hit hard and was forced to retreat. Although a few thousand were blocked by the red shield in front of him, the red shield on his body quickly shattered, and bullets hit Li directly. Blood quickly dyed the opponent's white clothes red. What situation, who am I, where am I, and what happened? Li was bewildered and then collapsed, spitting blood from his mouth. Linger and Feiyu are also confused. What exactly is the magical tool in their hands? It's too powerful, isn't it? As for Li, who fell down, Linger only gave him a contemptuous look and words. Useless, really useless. Ding, kill one enemy on the 5th floor of the foundation building, gain 5,000 experience points, and receive 5,000 contribution points. Upon hearing this sound, Yunlong became beautiful and the corners of his mouth laughed like lotus flowers. However, at this moment, the woman shouted loudly. Where did Yi Xiu come from? He dares to harm the people in my Qiao family's village, it's like seeking death. Linger spoke out in anger, and with a move from the back, the blue flying sword in her hand flew straight towards Yunlong, with the blade pointing straight at his eyebrows. She is building a foundation of 7 floors, while Yi Xiu is building a foundation of 3 floors, so she doesn't think the other party will harm her at all, so she is very bold. As for Li, who was injured and died, this was the other party's carelessness. Besides, is this miss who can compare with that useless person? Linger, I'll help you. Feiyu, dressed in black, also spoke up and attacked with a sword. Upon seeing this, Yunlong took out another box cannon with his left hand and fired simultaneously with both hands. Bang 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 bang. Bullets were fired one by one, and Feiyu struck them all with each sword, leaving Yunlong stunned. Is this okay too? However, Linger couldn't achieve this. She split the first 2 bullets with her sword, but the 3rd bullet hit her chest directly. Unfortunately, a yellow shield lit up and the bullet was also blocked. However, even so, Linger was still terrified and stopped in her footsteps as she rushed towards him. After landing, she stared at the ground with great fear, her chest heaving and breathing heavily, clearly frightened. Because she didn't see the first 2 bullets clearly at all, it was just a quick flick of her sword and a chance encounter. Ding 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 ding, Feiyu chopped through several bullets and landed on the ground. He quickly grabbed Linger's waist and quickly retreated, then said with an eager concern, Linger, are you okay? A man's head was so close that Linger was startled and pushed Feiyu away, roaring angrily, what are you doing here? Why don't you go kill him? He almost killed me just now, I almost died. Feiyu felt unhappy in his heart. He knew his true identity was a demon cultivator, but on the surface, he still pledged with his sword, okay, Linger is waiting for me. I will avenge you now. With a swoop, Feiyu rushed out, and Yunlong naturally fired several shots from left to right. The opponent was very skilled in both body and sword techniques, and even managed to dodge most of the bullets, even blocking them. Damn it, the pinnacle of building a foundation is different, Li Yunlong sighed. And the woman Xiao Linger was furious when she saw that Xiao Feiyu had not taken Li Yunlong for so long. However, for the strange magic weapon in Li Yunlong's hand, she still looked up and shouted at Xiao Feiyu, kill him quickly. I want him to die. As long as you kill him, I will consider dating you. Upon hearing this, Xiao Feiyu's eyes flashed with a hint of disdain and he said, Poor woman, if it weren't for your body craving, I wouldn't be too lazy to lick you. Although I thought so in my heart, there was a surprised expression on my face. Okay. Xiao Feiyu was originally planning to take action against Li Yunlong. His eyes were shining as he looked at the magical tool in Li Yunlong's hand, something he had never seen before. I didn't expect to not only get Xiao Linger's blood food today, but also harvest top-notch magical tools. It seems that breaking through the golden elixir is just today. Turning away from Xiao Linger's direction, Xiao Feiyu suddenly adopted the upright image before the major reform, with a sinister smile on his face. At first glance, Li Yunlong knew it was not good. While his body quickly retreated, his two guns also fired continuously. Bang 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 bang. Unfortunately, Xiao Feiyu lowered his body and pressed his left hand on the ground, suddenly unleashing his spiritual power. Ghost knife, open it. As the words fell, Xiao Feiyu almost disappeared in an instant, at an incredibly fast pace. When the other party reappeared, they had already arrived at the side of Li Yunlong, and without hesitation, they cut off with one sword, intending to cut off the left hand of old Li who had raised his gun. At a critical moment, Li Yunlong's Shen divine fire technique was in operation, and flames were rising from his body. At the same time, the majestic flames were fiercely rushing towards Xiao Feiyu. Feeling the terrifying heat rushing towards him, Xiao Feiyu was startled and quickly withdrew to dodge. After landing, Xiao Feiyu looked up again, and his mind suddenly shook because he saw Li Yunlong holding two guns, looking down, and bathing in the fire all over his body. Feeling the terrifying flames on the other person's body, Xiao Feiyu suddenly felt a bit flustered in that moment, and a strange feeling suddenly appeared in his heart. Chapter 7. Mastering Gunmanship and Understanding the Meaning of Guns. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Feeling that the other party was still building 3 layers of cultivation, Xiao Feiyu carefully sensed the flames on the other party's body and confirmed that they were just ordinary flames, but why did he feel uneasy? No, I'll just devour that woman's achievement pill first and then come find him again. At that time, that strange magical tool will still be mine. Having made up his mind, Xiao Feiyu exerted force under his feet and flashed over to Xiao Linger's side. His cultivation level was not hidden anymore, and the peak cultivation level of building the foundation completely suppressed Xiao Linger, directly lifting him up. Linger, that casual cultivator is strange, let's withdraw first. Xiao Feiyu casually gave a reason, picking up Xiao Linger and taking off directly. Therefore, the latter had already been picked up before she could react to anything, and seeing the strange aura of the other person now, Xiao Linger felt unfamiliar and fearful. Unfortunately, she is now completely suppressed by the other party's cultivation, unable to speak or struggle, and can only scream loudly. Who should I call? Of course, I'm asking Li Yunlong to save him. There's no way, only Li Yunlong can save her here. Damn it, do you want to run? Have you asked me? Li Yunlong raised his head, his eyes sparkling with gold, and after a slight brewing, he fired directly. Breaking the light. 2 dazzling golden rays shot out from Li Yunlong's eyes, almost instantly piercing through Xiao Feiyu's heart. After the powerful breakthrough light penetrated Xiao Feiyu's body, it almost hit Xiao Linger's face and shot into the distance, while Xiao Feiyu's blood splashed onto her pale face. Xiao Feiyu was very confused. Why did his body suddenly stop twitching? He looked down and saw that there were already 2 more holes in his chest. Quickly, his spiritual power began to dissipate, and Xiao Feiyu's consciousness fell into a dark abyss. Bang, the body and the woman fell to the ground. It wasn't until now that Xiao Linger regained consciousness. She lowered her head and saw that Xiao Feiyu had died. Looking further away, the severely injured Xiao Li also died. What is the situation? Our 2 foundations have 5 floors and 1 foundation has 7 floors, but we can't beat the field repair of 1 foundation with 3 floors. She wanted to leave, but for some reason, her legs were weak and she couldn't even stand up. Ah! Don't come over. Xiao Linger started screaming as she moved back. I am from Qiaojia village, the eldest lady of the Qiaojia village. My father is the head of the Qiaojia village, and you cannot kill me. As long as you spare me, I will listen to you. I can be your woman. I know everything. Li Yunlong, who had already taken 2 steps and was about to take down this foolish woman, stopped and said, Damn it, you're not even worthy of being my woman. If Shuqin finds out, I'll have to shed a layer of skin. Li Yunlong didn't want to get close and felt nauseous. He raised his hand and wanted to shoot the opponent with 1 shot. However, at this moment, he saw that the damned Xiao Feiyu had another movement, as a strong black demonic aura emerged from the opponent's body. Then, Xiao Feiyu stood up stiffly like a walking corpse, with a strange smile on his lips. Xiao Linger naturally noticed that Xiao Feiyu stood up, and his eyes, which were dizzy, instantly lit up. He didn't feel anything wrong with the magic energy on the other party's body. She climbed over and hugged the other person's thigh excitedly, saying, Feiyu, I promise to date you. You take me away, take me away. We'll get married when we go back, and we'll get married tonight. Li Yunlong is speechless. This woman is crazy. Didn't you see that the other person is full of demonic energy? Xiao Feiyu, who was like a zombie, also turned his head and without hesitation, grabbed the slender neck of the other person with his left hand and lifted them up. Until now, Xiao Linger seemed to have regained some consciousness and struggled to speak. Xiao Feiyu, you are a demon cultivator. With a thud, a knife plunged into Xiao Linger's full chest, and then a beating heart was taken out. I didn't expect that a 3-story foundation would be so powerful that it would kill all my hosts. Xiao Feiyu made a strange sound before nibbling on his bloody heart one by one. Li Yunlong frowned, it was because he had hooked out the old monster. Character: Mo Qingshan status. Originally a damaged soul body, it has just devoured Xiao Feiyu's soul and has been restored to a complete soul body from the early stage of Yuanying intention. To take away you, I'll go, take it away. Is this greedily my body? Li Yunlong muttered, of course, his feet were also on fire and the wind was blowing. He jumped up straight into the sky and slipped away. Just kidding, the opponent's early soul body is so powerful. Why are you still carrying it here? System, the other party wants to take me away. Do you have any treasures? Hurry up and take them out. Ding, don't worry, the other party won't give up the host. It's just a primitive baby soul, nothing. Across from him, Mo Qingshan, who was hiding among the corpses, smiled and said, Jia, you want to run? Can you run? With a casual throw of the dead woman, Mo Qingshan flew out directly in a black soul state, reaching Li Yunlong's back in less than a breath at an extremely fast speed. Jia, your body is very good, it's mine now. Before Li Yunlong could react, Mo Qingshan's soul body forcefully penetrated through the protective flame and directly penetrated into the soul sea of Li Yunlong's head. In Mo Qingshan's mind, the skill that Li Yunlong used to shine with his eyes just now was a divine skill, definitely a supernatural ability. Moreover, the opponent's powerful tools were also very special. In short, Li Yunlong had an incredible opportunity to seize and give up. However, when Mo Qingshan arrived at the soul sea of Li Yunlong, he was stunned because there was also a huge Li Yunlong here. If we consider Mo Qing Shan Yuanying's early soul as 2 meters, then the Li Yunlong in front of him is at least 100 meters, no, at least a kilometer, and the other person is still sitting cross-legged, with his whole body shining with golden light. Yes, the same golden color as the rayed light I saw before. Mo Qing Shan swallowed his saliva with a dry tongue and then trembled as he spat out 2 words. Former, senior. With his shout, the golden Li Yunlong seemed to react as well. His eyes opened, and the majestic golden light illuminated the entire spiritual sea. Then Mo Qing Shan was burned to ashes directly by these golden lights. The confused golden giant Li Yunlong doesn't know, so who called me? What's going on? Chapter 8. Co-author, I am an ordinary person. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The confused golden giant Li Yunlong doesn't know, so who called me? Looking left and right, I couldn't find anyone, so I had no choice but to close my eyes and continue meditating, and the entire spiritual sea returned to calm once again. Outside, Li Yunlong was still cursing his mother and saying, "Damn it, you're an old man who can't die. If you don't go find someone else to look for me, bully them, see if I can kill you, the system." What? Suddenly, Li Yunlong stopped flying. He stared left and right for a moment. What about that dead ghost? System, where did Mo Qing Shan go? Ding, of course the dead ghost is already dead. The host can go search for the storage bags of those 3 people. What? Scratching storage bags. Although Li Yunlong was puzzled about what the storage bag was, he knew the 2 words of searching, in simple terms, cleaning the battlefield. System, how did Mo Qing Shan die? Li Yunlong was picking up the storage bag while also asking the system about what had just happened. Burned to death. Li Yunlong was taken aback and said, "Was it burned to death?" "Oh, I got it. I got angry and ended up with a ghost rushing up and being burned to death." So stupid. About it, although he was still a bit confused, Li Yunlong looked around and felt so unfamiliar. Forget it, let's go back to practice and take a look at what's in this bag. After putting away his storage bag, Li Yunlong made up his mind to directly use the Shentian Divine Fire technique, wrap his body in the Xuanhua shield, and then rush straight to Canyin Ridge. At this moment, Zhao Gang, who had carefully scrutinized the Fire Spirit technique in the Cangyunling Youth League, had already taken action and called all the cadres, big and small, to the Youth League courtyard. This Youth League used to be a house for residents of Cangyunling, but now that there are no more people, it has become an independent youth league, and the cadres have sat down in a courtyard. "What are you doing here?" Of course, it was Lao Zhao who gave the lecture. Zhao Gang is a man who has seen it twice and then breathed qi into his body. Now he has mastered the fire spirit technique 8 or 9 times. Therefore, he shared his own insights and experiences, as well as explained some of the things in the martial arts. In an instant, the cadres were enlightened and opened the door to a new world. One by one, the air was quickly drawn into the body. You should know that nowadays, Canyin Ridge has top-notch spiritual veins, which are very rich in spiritual energy. This is also why they are so easy to attract qi into their bodies. Ding, congratulations to the independent team for refining more than 100 people. The reward is to upgrade the 5 elements formation upside down once, and to reward Old Li with a small achievement in basic gun intent. Ding, congratulations to the host. The Cangyunling Mountain Protection Formation has been successfully upgraded. Inverted 5 elements formation. A top-notch earth-level formation that is both offensive and defensive. When activated, it can withstand the full attack of the peak cultivator of the transforming spirit for an hour. It can lock the space to a certain extent and isolate the internal and external air machines. You can adjust the mode to rebound melee damage. After the enemy enters the formation, people with Yuanian cultivation and below will be completely trapped in an illusion, gun meaning. Box cannon is amazing now. In the evening, as the sun set in the west, Li Yunlong had just entered the gate of Canglong Mountain when suddenly a reward came. Looking at the upgraded inverted 5 elements formation, Li Yunlong exclaimed, "Good guy, he doesn't understand anything else, but he still understands how to resist the attack of the divine transformation cultivator for an hour. He can only say, it's a good thing." And this gun intent, just like the sword intent and sword intent of cultivators in this world, with the blessing of gun intent, the power of the box cannon in hand is directly taken to the next level. Although it was a small bullet fired, its power was as powerful as that of a mortar. "Hello, Captain." The duty soldier saluted and greeted. "Okay, they're all good, ah. Have you read that martial arts secret script? How do you feel?" "Report to the team leader, we are on duty today and haven't read the martial arts secrets yet." "Okay, it's worthy of being our old Li soldier. Although we're going to practice martial arts, we still need to be on duty. We need to practice even if we need to. Who makes us soldiers?" "Captain, how does it feel to fly in the sky? Is it enjoyable?" a soldier boldly spoke up. Upon hearing this, Li Yunlong chuckled and said, "Nonsense, can you be unhappy? This thing is like flying a plane, it's so convenient to go wherever you want. You only know how big the world is when you fly in the sky. But don't worry either. Let's just say that, this thing can't be rushed. When you finish your duty, come find me and I will personally teach you martial arts." "Thank you, Captain." After communicating with the soldiers, Li Yunlong began hiking up the mountain and also looked at the soldiers along the way. It can only be said that some people are excited, some are confused, and some are worried about their loved ones on the blue star. In this regard, Li Yunlong also began to deceive the general public, saying things that made sense, naturally very good. If he couldn't make sense, Li Yunlong would directly curse, saying anything that was submissive or like a woman's words. "That's right, we've come to this haunted place. We've been separated from our loved ones. But what's going on? My wife Xuqin and I just got married, and we haven't even had a wedding yet. Isn't it like we're also separated now? What, if you don't see your loved ones, you're going to die and live? Damn it, cheer me up. I don't want cowardly soldiers in my independent team." "Yes." Several trainees answered neatly, wiping their tears. "Also, our old Li Beat doesn't have the ability to handle things. His ability to handle things is top-notch. Isn't he just going home?" "Ha! Our old Li promised you that I would take you on a road to the sky and away home. Our independent team has arrived with person 8324. When we go back, we must also be person 8324. I, Li Yunlong, will not leave any brothers behind." "Captain, can we really go back?" asked the soldier with concern. Li Yunlong crossed his waist and angrily said, "Who said we can't go back? Since we can come, we can naturally go back. Don't you understand such a simple truth? Hurry up, don't be so miserable with your face. What should you do? Don't leave me idle. Whether you shoot or shoot, as long as you don't pull your face, I don't care about anything." Just like this, Li Yunlong worked hard all the way, coaxing and scolding some soldiers for psychological counseling, and before he knew it, it was already dark. "There's no way, they're all simple children. Can it be okay if they suddenly leave their hometown?" "Lao Li, how are the soldiers doing?" asked Zhao Gang from the regimental headquarters. Li Yunlong sighed and said, "It's not something that everyone can accept. Many soldiers have some influence, but I believe my soldiers will adapt." Zhao Gang nodded, and then the two fell into silence. After a while, Zhao looked at Li Yunlong and said seriously, "Old Li, you can take the independent regiment back, right?" After hesitating for a moment, Li Yunlong replied seriously, "Don't worry, I will definitely take everyone back." Upon hearing this, Zhao Gang smiled happily and then turned around to leave. Looking at the figure turning around, Li Yunlong felt that Zhao Gang was slightly different from the previous Zhao Gang, but what was certain was that Zhao Gang was still the same Zhao Gang. Just as Canglong Ridge fell into silence, in a mountain fortress hundreds of miles away, a majestic man from the main position clapped his table and stood up. What, my spirit has died. Chapter 9. Host, your idea is very dangerous. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. The Gulong Forest is a large forest in Dongzhou, and Kayajayashai is a strange flower in the forest. They are only a few hundred people, not many in number, but all of them are cultivators, and both men and women have the surname Qiao, indicating that they are ancestors. Over the years, the people of Qiao family village have intermarried with each other and have basically become relatives. If you go out and marry anyone, it may be your second uncle. Moreover, the strength of this village is not weak. In the Qiao family village, which has only over 500 people, there are nearly 100 cultivators who have built foundations. Among them, there are 10 cultivators who have reached the 9 heavenly peaks of building foundations, known as the top 10 elders. Of course, there is also a leader of the half-step golden elixir and an ancestor of the golden elixir that no one has ever seen before. It is the existence of this golden core ancestor that this Qiao family village stands firm in this forest. You should know that even the Wulongfang market outside the forest does not have a golden pill, but a small village in this forest has a golden pill, which is outrageous. Now, in the conference hall, Qiao Qianren, the leader of half-step golden elixir, is thundering. What did my baby Linger do today? How did the soul lamp go out? Tell me. Below are the top 10 elders. They usually have a commanding presence in front of others, but now they face the leader of the half-step golden pill like little chickens. Finally, someone spoke up and said, "Village leader, my son Qiao Li's soul lamp has also been extinguished." This person is Qiao Xianshan, the father of Qiao Li. He spoke up to win the sympathy of the village leader, but there was no sympathy in the end. I saw Qiao Qianren angrily say, "Your son's life or death has nothing to do with me. My precious daughter is 16 years old and has built a 7-story foundation. What does your son compare to my daughter?" Yes, the people of Qiao family village don't know why they have extremely high talents, but they are all short-lived ghosts. Most people's foundations can live for 200 years, and 100 years here is considered longevity. Report to the village leader. We have heard the news that Miss Linger, Qiao Li, and Qiao Feiyu have gone out together during the day, and the 3 have not returned yet. With a loud bang, Qiao Qianren, who was furious, waved his sleeve, and the person who came to report was directly blown away, seriously injured and vomiting blood. Nonsense, everyone has died, how can we come back? However, Qiao Qianren quickly thought of something and looked at Qiao Li's father, asking, "Qiao Feiyu. I remember his father died 7 years ago. It was you, Qiao Xianshan, who took his place." Upon hearing this, Qiao Xianshan woke up in an instant and said, "He probably doesn't remember what happened 7 years ago. How could he have found the 2 of them? However, the other party has only built a foundation of 5 floors and is not a match for Miss Linger at all." "But what? This matter was caused by what happened to you back then. You immediately send someone to investigate overnight who caused my daughter's harm. If we can't find out before noon tomorrow, you elder, don't do it. Let's change people." Upon hearing this, Qiao Xianshan dared not speak too much and directly claimed to be true. Then, he left the Qiao family stronghold overnight with his people. Canglong Ridge, Youth League. Li Yunlong sat on the Kong in his room and happily took out 3 storage bags and 3 flying swords from the system. Yes, they were the inheritance of Qiao Linger and the others. He was about to open Qiao Linger's storage bag when he suddenly thought of something and asked the system, "I remember you said, if we kill an enemy, we will receive experience and contribution rewards. I'll take Qiao Linger's reward, and what about the other 2 people's rewards?" Ding, congratulations to the host for remembering this matter. Reward the lower grade spirit stone. Li Yunlong's face turned black directly. We didn't pay attention, didn't we forget? Ding, congratulations to the host for killing one person from the foundation building Peak Demon Cultivator. Reward 9,000 experience points and contribution points. The current experience value of the host is 14550/3000. The current contribution value of the host is 17550. Li Yunlong was quite happy to see these thousands and thousands of rewards, but upon closer inspection, something was wrong. Why was one of the 3 people missing? System, when I kill 3 people from the other party, why are you giving rewards to 2 people? You won't be taking kickbacks, will you? Host, you're thinking nonsense. Xiao Linger was killed by Mo Xiu, not you. Okay, Li Yunlong remembered that Xiao Linger was killed by Mo Xiu's heart. But I don't know why, he always feels very happy when the system says he wants to fart. Ah, my 7,000 experience points and contribution points, I need to be careful in the future and not let people steal people's heads. With a murmur, Li Yunlong spoke directly, system, upgrade with experience points. Ding, consume 3,000 experience points. Congratulations to the host for upgrading to the 4th level of foundation building. Ding, consume 4,000 experience points. Congratulations to the host for upgrading to the 5th level of foundation building. Ding, consume 5,000 experience points. Congratulations to the host for upgrading to the 6th level of foundation building. The current remaining experience value of the host is 2550/6000. Feeling the majestic power within his body, Li Yunlong felt like he had done it again. And this time, Li Yunlong also looked inside his dantian and finally knew that there was a cyclone spinning in the dantian. Now there are 6 cyclone branches, and when there are 9, he can break through the golden pill. Hehe, let me see what you all have. After breaking through, Li Yunlong began to flip through the storage bags, but he flipped through 2 storage bags, both containing some miscellaneous items. Apart from dozens of spirit stones and a few broken talismans, there was nothing valuable. The most valuable thing about emotions is this flying sword. Li Yunlong muttered, looking at the 3 flying swords, one style, obviously a cheap mass-produced one. But even so, it can still be considered exquisite. After all, it's a flying sword that can carry people to fly. What do you have as a demon cultivator? Old Li opened Xiao Feiyu's storage bag and at first glance, there were quite a lot of things, with over 300 spirit stones, obviously not a few deceiving people. Upon closer inspection, there is a knife among them. Magic Wind Blade. Taking out the magic wind blade, Li Yunlong wrapped it in spiritual power and looked at it in his hand. It was a treasure. Magic Wind Blade. A top-grade magical tool of the Xuanjia level, also known as the Blade of the Breaking Wind. It can wield a sword aura with the power of breaking. When injured by the sword aura, it is difficult to heal the wound. Ding, this knife has a strong demonic nature. It is recommended that the host use fire to forcibly refine it. Upon hearing this, although Li Yunlong did not know what refining was, he also began under the guidance of the system. The Xiantian divine fire technique was in operation, and Li Yunlong suspended the demon wind blade in his palm and burned it fiercely with fire, giving a feeling that alchemists didn't need a pill furnace and could directly use their palm to refine pills. Unconsciously, half an hour has passed, and the originally black magic wind blade has been burned red, and the magic on it has finally begun to fade. Half an hour later, the magic wind blade had lost all its black color and was completely transparent. Li Yunlong raised his index finger again and forced out a drop of essence and blood. Not long after, the magic wind blade was successfully refined. Removing the flames, the originally black magic wind blade has now turned into a bright copper color, and there are also some red flame inscriptions on it, making it a fire attribute sword at first glance. Hehe, it used to be dark, but now it looks like a treasure. But in the future, you won't be called the Demon Wind Blade, you'll have to call it the Demon Flame Blade. Follow us oldly to conquer the world. Looking at the exquisitely crafted Demon Flame Blade in his hand, Li Yunlong was extremely precious. After all, although the demon flame blade at this time is small, it is a top-grade sword of the Xuanjia level, and it still has special effects. That is, the previously cut damage power has been replaced with the burning power, which also has the effect of preventing wound healing, making it a small artifact. However, at this moment, the system surprisingly released tasks. Ding, Liangjian system releases tasks to solve all incoming enemies. Li Yunlong was taken aback. Is this an experience point coming? Chapter 10. Things are so simple, damn it. You are listening at novelfull.audio. What? Eliminate all incoming enemies. Li Yunlong wondered. Yes, when the host or independent team is about to face a crisis, the Liangjian system will issue a task warning. After completing the task, you can receive a certain reward. Oh, I understand. What you mean is that someone is coming to cause trouble now, right? Needless to say, those 3 little dolls died during the day, and the old ones are coming to cause trouble. I've beaten the younger ones to the older ones, and experience comes one after another. Although Li Yunlong is also very confident, after all, he has a fearless nature. Now that he has cultivated immortality, he still has to climb to the sky. But after the daytime battle, Li Yunlong also found that his means seemed to be limited and he needed something to increase his strength. System, open the mall, our old Li is about to make a purchase. Quickly, amidst dazzling excitement and cursing, Li Yunlong spent 15,000 contribution points, as he only had 2,550 contribution points after spending. Ding, spend 5,000 contribution points. Congratulations to the host for successfully purchasing the lower-level physical skill, Fire Cloud Step. Ding, spend 5,000 contribution points. Congratulations to the host for successfully purchasing the lower-level sword technique, Soul-Slaying Saber Technique. Ding, spend 5,000 contribution points. Congratulations to the host for successfully purchasing 2 Xian-level premium diamond talismans and 1 teleportation talisman. Huiyinbu, needless to say, matches perfectly with Xiantian Shenhuaju in terms of body techniques and martial arts. Although Lao Li has cultivated immortality, his body movements are still too bad and need to be strengthened. Although it is only a lower-level ground-level cultivation, it should be noted that most ordinary foundation-building cultivators use the yellow-level cultivation method. Therefore, in the foundation-building world, this ground-level cultivation method is quite explosive. The sword technique, Soul-Slaying Saber Technique, is also a lower-level martial art with excellent soul-breaking effects. The specific effect is that when chopping a person, it can damage the opponent's divine soul, causing secondary damage to them. If the divine soul is weak and hits this knife, the battle is basically over. Because I can take advantage of the short time when your divine soul is injured, Old Li can give you another blow, and then your divine soul is injured again, and you can continue to chop like this. Who can withstand a few cuts? And if you use the flame knife to chop people, it has a dual effect of burning and soul breaking, which is very effective. As for the diamond talisman, 1,500 pieces can withstand 3 attacks from the peak of the golden elixir. The teleportation talisman is 2,000 pieces, which can be crushed and directly teleported to the Zhangyan Ridge headquarters. These two are pure life-saving treasures. Hey, I want to see who's causing me trouble. After learning the martial arts and having the treasure in hand, Li Yunlong confidently went out. Because it was night, there were very few people on the road, and there were not many people on the front line. However, Li Yunlong still gathered people from the artillery in anti-aircraft artillery camps. Not for any other reason, just because the 155mm cannon and 20mm dual mechanism gun can be fired flat and directly aimed at bombarding opponents. Of course, with such a big commotion, there were also movements from the other battalions, so many people quickly arrived on the battlefield. So, without realizing it, the whole regiment arrived at the position. Lao Li, what's going on? Is there an enemy coming? Zhao Gang began to look around with a telescope. Lao Zhao, you still know me. Look, there's someone coming from the canyon. Li Yunlong pointed to a small canyon several kilometers away and opened his mouth, then began giving orders. Wang Huaibao, you are now the commander of the artillery battalion of the 3rd Battalion. You have fought well against monsters during the day, but now you can hit people. I see if you can hit them accurately. If you take aim, just give me a damn, you don't need to ask me again. Yes. Commander Wang Huaibao grinned like a lotus, stood at attention with a military salute, and then commanded the cannons to go. A few kilometers away, Xiao Xianshan and 5 people emerged from the canyon, barely visible under the moonlight. Elder Xianshan, this mountain suddenly appeared during the day today. The soul-chasing fragrance is wafting towards that side. The murderer who killed Master Qiaoli must be on this mountain. One person in the team spoke, and an incense was burning in his hand. Upon hearing this, Xiao Xianshan was overjoyed, but he quickly asked, where is Qiao Linger's murderer? He asked and turned his head to look at another person, who was also holding an incense stick in his hand. However, there was no smoke floating out of the incense stick, which means that the murderer was no longer on the opposite mountain. Seeing this scene, Xiao Xianshan raised his hand and pointed, and the fragrance was shattered into powder by the light of the fingers. Then he released his pressure and said harshly, remember, the murderer of Qiao Linger is on this mountain, understand? If anyone goes back and says something they shouldn't say, I'll kill him, his whole family. At this moment, the 5 people who followed were trembling with fear. They didn't expect that the usually mildest-looking elder of Xianshan would be so terrifying, with such a cold breath. After threatening, Xiao Xianshan was about to leave when Xiao Qianren, who was taking the half-step golden pill, came to deal with it. As a result, things flew over from afar at an extremely fast speed. This thing is not only fast, but also has no spiritual power fluctuations. If it weren't for his high cultivation and keen perception, he wouldn't have been able to detect it at all. This is not a cannon shell, what else can it be? Moreover, 50 cannons were fired together, resulting in 50 shells in one go. What kind of thing is this? Xiao Xianshan was very curious, so he directly raised his hand and grabbed at a flying shell. As a great cultivator at the peak of building a foundation on the 9th floor, it's not easy to catch something without spiritual energy. With a loud bang, the shell exploded in the hand. Moreover, it was not just him who was curious, but also someone who built a 5-story foundation did the same. Immediately, 50 cannon shells exploded in this area, with a caliber of 155 and immense power. However, in an instant, this place became a sea of fire. As the first round of shells passed, everyone saw that Xiao Xianshan was fine. After all, he had a high cultivation level and was quick to react. Although his clothes were disheveled, he was not injured. Building a foundation on the 9th floor was not a vegetarian peak. However, the other person who received the shell with bare hands was not able to do it. The palm was completely gone, and half of the arm was blown up, bleeding profusely. As for the other 4 people, although they were also injured, they were only skin injuries. After all, they were foundation-building cultivators, and their defense under spiritual protection was extremely strong. Ah, damn it, retreat quickly. Xiao Xianshan ordered, and then he left the other 5 alone at an extremely fast speed. Li Yunlong naturally saw this scene through the telescope, and he smiled happily. Damn it, the people in the cultivation world are really fierce, they actually pick up shells with their bare hands. Unfortunately, it's so convenient for you all to pick up shells with bare hands, he sighed and then spoke to Zhao Gang, still finding a reason. Old Zhao, stay on the mountain, I'll go catch them and bring them back. We can't let them run away. If we run away, we'll expose ourselves. After speaking, without waiting for Zhao Gang to speak, Li Yunlong rushed out into the sky. Zhao Gang is extremely angry. There are so many people on the other side, and their cultivation is not weak. You went alone. However, he had no choice but to lower his current cultivation level and refine the 5th layer of Qi. I don't know what this bastard ate, his cultivation has suddenly become so high.